Hey guys, this is Matt Ranger, aka VodkaHaze for CardRunners.com. And today we're going to be doing another hand review at mid-stakes PLO. And today most hands are going to be 6 max, which is fun. And the theme of today's video is going to be elasticity. So I hope most of you guys understand the concept of elasticity. That basically means how much someone is going to react to a change in the input, so to say. That's the economics definition. So, if you do something differently, like how much does someone's reaction change between like a huge bet size and a medium bet size, or a huge bet size and a small bet size? So if someone, folds a lot more to big bet size than small bet sizes, he's very elastic. And if someone calls the same range, regardless of your bet size, he's inelastic, he doesn't bend his strategy to the input, the information that comes in. So yeah, that's going to be today's video, how we're going to look at a couple of hands, and most of which are going to play around the concept of elasticity. So this first hand here was in a particularly good 400 pounds game. As you can see, we have my best friend, Villain 7 here, who's 2 seats to the right. So we have basically the Jesus seat on him. And there's another loose passive here, and 3 other regs, and us. As you can see, I've been running Maniac stats at this table over the first 55 hands. That's because of our friend here, and I was relentlessly playing with him, and basically the whole table just let me play every pot with him. So, most hands would go Villain 7 would limp or open, and then I would isolate him somewhere or another, and then everyone would fold. Or, most people would fold and another guy would call, and I'd get a heads up or 3-way pot in position of the huge fish. That said, we want to play a lot of hands with the fish. Usually those players are kind of time bombs at 6 max tables. They're just waiting to bust, As you can see, this guy built up a stack of maybe 350 BBs here, and that stack can just evaporate in 3 hands if he decides to tilt it off. That's the kind of stuff that happens. So while they're there, you need to play as many hands as possible, and as many hands as the other regulars at the table will let you get away with. So that said, we're UTG, and usually, we're going to go with the overarching questions that we usually ask in the hand review videos that I make, which is like, how much or what range should I open here when I'm first to talk? A good guess would be my UTG range. And that would be smart and calculated, but there are other factors. There's a lot of money in playing a hand in position with the fish, regardless of what our hand is. We're just going to print money if we get post flop and a heads up pot with them. And other factors we need to consider is how we're going to get punished for opening wider than a standard UTG, unexploitable range UTG, by the other regs in position of us. So our friends here on the mill position and the cutoff seem strangely inelastic to me playing half the deck at a 6 max table, trying to isolate the fish every hand. They just seem to play their cards and not react to me just basically raising a third of the deck everywhere. So we have a tight villain here on the mill position who plays 20% of hands, an extremely nit villain on the cutoff who plays like a sixth of the hands there. And we have a loose passive who's not much of a worry. Even if he does flat, what's going to happen often is that he's going to flat, and then Villain 7 is going to flat, and we're going to get a 3-way pot with someone who's passive and predictable in position of us, and a huge fish out of position of us. So basically, we won't have to use any tricky lines post-flop if we get into this post-flop situation. We can just, value bet and semi-bluff and kind of check the weak and maybe some weak hands that can continue on turns rarely, because we're not going to get punished for having completely unbalanced range that are just straightforward and hammer down value onto the fish by a loose passive who's in position of us, as opposed to a very tough reg or like an erratic, over-aggressive fish, all of which could punish us.